Hello, everyone. Welcome
Hello.
to Alchemy Within from Out Amongst the Stars. I'm Diana, and this is my daughter, Shelby.
Hey there.
Thanks for being here with us, Shelby. Shelby and I are
Anytime.
on our first live. We're breaking out the lives. It's just something like we've been talking about, but we finally figured it out how to stream. And just wanted to have a check-in because we've had such incredibly strong transits and energies with these eclipses. And it's been a little bit challenging over here for us as well. So, so we'll start. I guess we kind of were in a winter mode, and then we were in these eclipses on the 19th of April. We had that hybrid solar eclipse at 29 degrees of Aries. And then a couple weeks later, on May 5th, we had the lunar eclipse in Scorpio at 15 degrees. And that one was extremely intense. And everything just kind of really got interesting here with our weather. And it was so dry and the wind was so much. And we ended up in just continual fire season, which was really, really, really odd for us. Shelby had a solar return in there as well. So that'll be a really interesting thing for you, Shelbs, going forward to have these eclipse energy. This will be a very transformational time. So how do you feel about that?
A little nervous.
Yeah, but
yeah, it's
everything.
definitely been a time. It's been a month, but I think it'll all kind of settle out, or maybe it'll just be a really transformational year. I don't know. It's hard to say.
Yeah, with that being in Scorpio, we'll be able to follow the journey along, right? To see how your solar return in the midst of eclipses, or especially like, just so you know, like when near. Yeah, so yeah, and then right after that, on the 21st of April, we went into a Mercury retrograde, so things didn't feel like they were moving forward then either. So it was just sort of like we were caught up in that energy, and it's just finally today felt like, some of these alerts are going away that kept coming through ever since then. We got rain, and of course we had this Sun conjunct Uranus as well right after that, which was a shocking event, and for us was a really very shocking death of a close friend and someone we've known for a long time. So that was not an easy time either. Yeah, and now we're in the fixed grand cross with Mars, Jupiter, Pluto, and the nodes of fate. So again, the nodes are involved with eclipses and of course with this fixed grand cross. And yeah, we've had a lot of intense energies. So it's been a very emotional time. So I just wanted to
Yeah.
share with everyone sort of what has been going on. So if you're feeling a little bit out of sorts, that definitely has made a difference. Yeah. And
Yeah.
Shelby, you ended up with a cold through this.
Yeah. I don't really know what started it, and was probably feeling it a few days ago. But we've had such thick smoke that blew into our area because we have so many fires happening throughout the province and nearby, far enough away that we haven't been in the evacuation notices, but close enough. Um, and we had very, very thick smoke coming in, and so all weekend you would go outside, and and it was just so thick and so heavy, that I noticed I was getting lots of headaches and was really tired, and my throat was getting quite sore. Um, so yeah, now, it's all cleared out the last day or so. But I have definitely, I don't know if it's like smoke and allergies, or if it's a cold, or if it's all of it happening at the same time. But yeah, maybe before we dig a little bit deeper into each of the transits, do you want to go through where people can find you, Mom? Do you want to kind of do some housekeeping things? And
Yeah, absolutely. So this channel is called Out Amongst the Stars Astrology. And I would love it if you like, share, and subscribe. Or even more so, comment below. And actually, you can win a free reading. Every 44 comments under the video, I'll draw for a free reading. And how you comment to get in the draw is start with "I am grateful for." So we just want to share some positivity, and then you can get a complimentary 40-minute reading by putting that comment underneath. And so also you can go to the website and you see the different packages and pricing there at outamongstthestars.com. And there is like some testimonials on there too. So people that have had readings. And I'd also love to invite everyone to the community. I have a private community I started, and that will be a private invite I can give you if you just fill out the form with the bit.ly link. That's the form. That's a form to fill out for a reading. That's a form to fill out for invite to the community. And if anybody wants to do this kind of a thing where we talk about the transits on more of a podcast style, on a live or even a pre-recorded, and we could do that too. And so right now I might dive a little bit more into the nodes. I would like to teach a little bit more about the nodes because we've been dealing with those, and they're just so significant. And it's something that I'm dealing with myself because we've had those eclipses. So we'll get into that. Those eclipses have actually been in my 10th and my 4th house. So we've had like the South Node for me in my 10th house, leaving my career and going into this new career, which is in Pisces, which is very more of a spiritual house. So hence the astrology. And it's been quite a transformation. So
I'm so sorry. I don't know if you can hear it. I heard a scuttle a few minutes ago, and I have a cat that is flinging himself against my door right now.
oh, okay.
Yeah.
Well, maybe you want to just we'll let the little kitty out that's flinging against the door.
Okay. Yeah. How about you? Yeah. Keep talking a little bit more about that. I'll just be 1 second about your community. Maybe if you want to share about what you put in your community, that'd be fantastic, I think.
Yeah, I'm going to continue to put in different things and teachers mentors that I've been learning from, as well as some cards. I'll often, pull oracle or tarot cards and just, kind of talk about the energies of the transits that are going on. So yeah, I would welcome you to come into the community and, we can share stories. So basically it's a connection and a collaboration, and just to be able to help everyone through the transit, because I have been studying astrology for a few years now. And I also, though, have taken some coaching in the emotional empowerment coaching. So just dealing with all of the emotions to do with all of these different transits, and also just to get to know your own chart. But I know there's like so many people that and astrologers that do a terrific job on talking about the different transits and that sort of thing that are currently going on. And I love to share those too. It's not the community is not just about me sharing what I want to teach. It's about collaborating and sharing what other people have. So there'll be lots of learning material in there. Um, as I share with you know all the different mentors and teachers, and then we'll also start to stream in there, hopefully as well when we're going to go do some lives. So even if you have a certain subject you want to talk about, or if you're doing some certain business, we can talk about your nodes and where you're meant to go with your particular life calling and business, and then it can get some traction there too. So yeah, so that'll be kind of what the community is about. Lots of storytelling and sharing our experiences, and then supporting each other getting through all of these transits, because we're in some crazy times right now for sure.
Yeah, that's for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Oh man. All right. Well, yeah, I guess, are we ready to get into it then?
Yeah, so we'll just look at the chart here.
Mm-hmm.
So this chart I just pulled for I just pulled this chart for, it was yesterday's chart, so it's just basically the current chart, but it really shows the T square, but there actually is a fixed grand cross because it doesn't actually show the nodes, and I don't think you can see the pointer on this particular stream. But if you look, what we are just kind of leaving here is that we have the Mars in Leo opposing Pluto, and it was then in this T square to Jupiter, which was with the North Node. And of course, the North Node is what we are, finding our way to. We feel a little bit wobbly and getting there, and it's sort of like our dharma and our divine calling. And we come in with our South Node, and that is something that is really familiar to us. It's skills and talents and gifts that we're really, really, really familiar with and know how to use in this lifetime. And so it helps us, when we're looking to do certain jobs and, get started in life. And as we get into our later 30s is when the nodes really get activated to start to make that shift. But it can happen, a little bit before. It just feels a little bit unfamiliar. So I know for me, I came in with that South Node in Virgo, so it was just being of service was really come naturally to me. It and being organized and detailed and all of that. And as I had all these different shifts and going through the transformation, it just doesn't, doing that kind of work just doesn't fit anymore. But going into the Pisces, which is very spiritual work and doing things like the astrology, and also I feel like being on film and talking to people about all of these things is also very unfamiliar still. And so here we are, though, as Pluto has dipped into Aquarius. Very important to do this work. And we are looking at, everyone's making that shift from all the systems and structures and corporate and government, and all of these systems are really getting transformed. And we're going more into that collective energy and having more freedom in our world and our work. And so we're all feeling like we need to do something a little bit different. And this is really, can be a really dynamic energy. This Pluto opposing Mars, which has probably, we've seen some things in the news and such, and really been a little bit of the instigator of crumbling too, as we sort of are going to retrograde back into Capricorn for a little bit here in June, and then move back into Aquarius. The Pluto will move back into Aquarius in January. So we'll really start to sort of feel the shifts coming into 2024. But we're getting a taste right now. So I think you probably felt a lot of transformation because you've started to speak a lot different here, Shelbs. And adjusting to different kind of work too.
Yeah, definitely. Yesterday I had done an interview for my own job, which has been a learning curve. So I wonder if it's some of that's transferring through. I know we had talked about on the weekend, this Pluto opposed Mars, and can you please repeat it? Is it the grand? It's not it's a fixed cross.
A grand fixed cross, yeah.
A grand fixed cross
in fixed signs. Your Leo, your Aquarius, and is the fixed signs, right? As well as Taurus and Scorpio.
Yeah,
the fixed energies.
Interesting. Yeah. So I know we had talked about that a little bit on the weekend, and we just kind of said we'll go to one. I wasn't feeling very good, and I said, my plan is I'll just hunker down in my little corner. I'm just going to be really quiet this weekend because it's quite a ripe time for arguments or kind of debates, or just kind of being a little cranky, maybe even for some people.
Yeah, because you're both kind of want to be fixed in that energy to hold your own, and Mars is that planet of argumentative and confrontational, and can be initiating too. And then Pluto wants the power and they want to be in charge. So when you have those opposing each other, then you can end up in those clashes. That was the general energy. I think mine was softened because the Mars landed right on my Venus. So that was helpful, I think, in that. And Jupiter's a benefic energy, but it's also an expanding energy. So it might have been, in the collective, expanding on all of that confrontation there. And it is, though, to, shift us, though. It is to shift us with the nodes involved into some of these new areas.
Wonderful.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
Well, maybe, do we want to go talk a little bit about each of the energies, kind of how they presented in our own lives?
So with the eclipses, or
yeah.
So I kind of talked a little bit about what happened here. It was eerie. I was packing, thinking like we might have to evacuate. The wind, it was just insane, and it was like it went from winter, and nothing had turned green yet, and any little sparks, everything just went up. And it was how many alerts a day? Like they came in every half an hour, it seemed.
Yeah.
So really intense.
Yeah. I know on so the day of the eclipse that was in Aries, I know on that day I decided I would go for a ride on my horse, and we were going to keep it pretty cool, pretty mellow. And I actually I ended up falling off. And usually I feel fine afterwards. But with that one, I really twisted something when I was coming off. And not my horse's fault at all. Just like, kind of one of those little accidents that happens. But she's starting to get older, and I haven't been in shape. So I just thought we would go back even further with, what's going on.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's
Yeah.
right. We're on a mission, making your space more beautified for you in your colors and painting away, and then
Yeah.
everything just kind of came to a grinding halt, like, because it was one
Yeah.
thing after another, starting with that when you fell and got hurt, and then everything had to just stop, and
Yeah.
you have to do some self-care.
Yeah. That has definitely been the message over the last month. Yeah. Grinding halt. Couldn't move very well. Couldn't
Mhm.
walk, couldn't sit for long periods of time without, when I would get up, I'd hobble around.
Yeah, but you also
Obviously,
are a Taurus
am a
with a
Taurus.
Saturn, and there was some, you know, the North Node in Jupiter and Uranus there, right?
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, it hasn't been a super fun time. And then thought, hey, we're starting to get back into it. Everything's going good. And yeah, the last couple days, decided, okay, I'll just, with the smoke and everything, um, I'll keep it pretty low key. And now, I've been wandering around the last 24 hours or so going, am I sick? What's going on? Do I have a cold? And thankfully, I've been able to mostly work from home when it kind of started to really come on.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah. Um,
Yeah, well,
yeah.
hopefully, as we go into this week, you'll start to
Mm-hmm.
finally feel a little bit better, and now we'll be past the shadow of the retrograde, because of course I don't know how, if people want to make comments too how their retrograde went. That was a doozer. It felt like, for me, it just felt like nothing was going to uh, move and shift forward. It just
Mm-hmm.
yeah, it was just a lot of review and redo and revise and reprogram and recalculate where we were headed.
Yeah. Can you remind everyone what sign retrograde was in? Can you remind us?
Oh, yeah, that Mercury was in, because it was in Taurus, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So I believe that it's stationed. If I go back, yeah, stationed direct on the 14th of May at 5 degrees in Taurus. But now I think the retrograde, I was just going to check the degrees here. So station retrograde, yeah, at 15 degrees in Taurus. So that's the thing too, is when Mercury's in Taurus, it doesn't like a lot of high speed communication as it is. Taurus, Mercury's like things, bite sized bits, and slower, and just not a whole bunch of information. It has to be kept quite simple and clear, and not too fast. So we were in that energy anyway, and then it went retrograde in that. So that's why it felt especially slow and hard, for
Mm-hmm.
some people whose minds like to work more quickly. And, for some people, it might not have been as much, because everybody feels these energies differently. But I know for me, it was a little more difficult.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So it just felt like I could not get anything to move forward at all. And
Yeah.
then with the eclipse energy, I had kind of started this other little thing that hadn't really got off the ground. And I thought, well, maybe over the summer, it could have. Thought maybe I would end up, kind of getting some interest. And actually, with the eclipse energy, that I got a note that kind of just totally ended. So a little partnership
Yeah.
just wasn't meant to be or to move forward in that way. So, and things like that can happen where it's just, you think something is like, and that was the whole thing. And that came in on the last eclipse in November. On that exact day, it came in. And then that 6-month period and this eclipse, it was just over. And that's why it's so great to know the transits, because you get to see like how they the cycles can work.
Yeah. Yeah, that one was pretty funny. I remember you telling me about that. And it's interesting because we've been talking about the eclipses, I would say a lot more in like the last 3 years or so, really paying attention to it.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe like even especially the last 2 years. But like, this is our third cycle in said 2 years. So, this is 2023, and then looking back at 2022, and then I remember really talking about it in 2021. I think that eclipse, I can't remember. I can't remember exactly when it was, but I do remember it being like the spring eclipse, I think it was going on in. Was a
Right.
very, very transformational time for myself, at least.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, and then so also we have Jupiter that just entered Taurus,
Mm-hmm.
which can be a really good thing for some people who have from your more material and resources and growing food and expanding on all of our things that bring us joy in our senses. And
Mm-hmm.
also, if you were around and and kind of can remember what happened in 2011 into 12, that was the last time that Jupiter was in Taurus, because it works. Jupiter, of course, operates in a 12-year cycle. So every about yearish about it goes through a sign. So now we'll be in Jupiter will be in Taurus for the next year. And whatever happened in sort of June to June of 2011 into 12, there might be some of the same themes that come about.
Interesting.
Yeah. And 1999. And guess what happened then, Shelby?
I was born.
Yeah.
Shortly after.
Yeah, 1999. So that was a Jupiter cycle as well.
Yeah.
In 2011, we were doing lots of fun things. So we'll see how this particular cycle actually plays out.
Yeah.
Maybe this will be where things really start to shift for you really a lot more into your own independence, because it is because when you were born, you were like, we kind of had our well, there could be some moving too. Maybe maybe
I ended up with a horse, with a new horse in 2011. So, and that would have
so
gone
maybe
through my
there's
6th house. So
right.
maybe it's something I've been talking about quite a bit. And yeah,
Yep.
who knows?
New horse, new pets. Yeah.
Yeah.
Expansion on family.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. So anyway, I think we'll wrap it up here because we're at our time here. So thanks for being here. And yeah, if anybody wants a reading, you can absolutely look in the comments below, fill out the form. If you'd like to do a podcast style, short reading on nothing like too personal, we can look at that as well. We can talk about your nodes. That would be fun. And yeah, you can visit the website if you want to see any testimonials, or just fill out the form, or just send me an email at dianacanbefreed@gmail.com, and we'll figure it out from there. But everybody, enjoy enjoy going into in the northern hemisphere, anyways, into our summer, and it finally feels like that today. It's fun.
Yeah.
It's green. It's nice. It's sunny. It's not smoky. It's not windy. It's feels like we're finally now into our into our summer. So happy about that.
Definitely.
Okay, everybody, take care, and thanks for being here. Until next time, I appreciate you being out amongst the stars, and hopefully we can all find our alchemy within through all these transformational times.
And
Bye
just
for
a
now.
side note, if anyone wants to search on YouTube, make sure that you put Out Amongst the Stars astrology. You will
Yes,
definitely find
or you
your
find
smoke that way.
all my favorite singers playing the song instead. Yeah, out amongst the stars astrology. Okay, great. Thanks for
Awesome.
being here, everyone. Have
See
a
ya.
great day. Bye for now.